Howie Roseman may have just found the Eagles' next superstar, my friend. And the wildest part is that the very situation that was supposed to destroy this prospect might be exactly what lands him in Philadelphia's lap. We're talking about a wide receiver who won the Biletnikoff Award, put up 13 touchdowns in just 12 games last season, and who some teams have already crossed off their boards entirely, not because of a lack of talent, but because of something that went down behind the scenes at the NFL Combine. Stick with me here because this story has a lot more layers than it looks. Before we dive deep into this one, if you're a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because the 2026 NFL Draft is coming on April 23rd, and every single move Howie Roseman makes between now and then could completely reshape the future of this franchise. Don't miss a thing. With the draft right around the corner, the Philadelphia Eagles front office is under a microscope for a reason that has the fan base split right down the middle: the future of A.J. Brown. The Eagles' superstar is, in the eyes of many, one of the best wide receivers in the entire league, but the trade rumors just won't go away. And it's exactly that cloud of uncertainty that makes the latest draft prediction so fascinating. NFL. Analyst Chad Reuter has the Eagles landing a name you need to know: Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC and 2025 Biletnikoff Award winner. Reuter projects the Eagles will use the number 23 overall pick in the first round to select Lemon. The logic, according to the analyst, is straightforward. Lemon fits naturally as a slot receiver, but he can absolutely play on the outside when Devonta Smith works inside. And if A.J. Brown does get traded, which remains the most likely scenario according to reports, this draft pick stops being complimentary and becomes absolutely essential. But wait. Why would a Biletnikoff Award winner still be on the board at pick 23? That's where this story gets interesting, and a little strange. Makai Lemon went through the NFL Combine in February, and on the athletic side of things, there isn't much to complain about. The 5'11", 195-pound wideout from Los Alamitos, California is fast, precise in his routes, and has elite hands. The numbers speak for themselves. In 2,000 touchdowns, 11 receiving and 2 rushing in just 12 games for USC. Lance Zierlein of NFL.com about as strong and endorsement as it gets. So what's the issue? It started with bizarre media sessions and reportedly even worse interactions behind closed doors with team personnel. Videos went viral showing Lemon apparently unable to focus on basic instructions during wide receiver drills. The reaction from teams, according to multiple reports, was sharp. One scout described the situation as an absolute disaster, word for word. Another insider reported hearing that several teams had already taken Lemon completely off their boards. The phrase making the rounds among evaluators was blunt. Great player, terrible attitude. What a disaster. It wasn't necessarily what Lemon said, it was how he carried himself. The comparison that surfaced in league circles was post-Oscar Terrence Howard energy, cryptic enough to make everyone in the room deeply uncomfortable. Now the question everyone is asking, is that enough to knock Makai Lemon out of the first round? And if he falls all the way to pick 23, should the Eagles pull the trigger? Let's be real. The NFL Draft has a long and well-documented history of players with behavioral red flags who went on to become elite performers between the lines. What matters most for the Eagles, and for Howie Roseman, one of the sharpest general managers in the league, is what happens on the football field. And on that front, Makai Lemon has everything it takes to make an immediate impact. His trajectory at USC tells a story of remarkable growth. As a freshman in 2023, he was barely used, just 6 receptions, 88 yards, 0 touchdowns. In 2024, the flashes started showing: 52 receptions, 764 yards, 3 touchdowns. But 2025, that's when everything exploded. Those 156 yards and 13 touchdowns in 12 games earned him the Biletnikoff, the award given to the best. Harrison writes itself. And here is where the story gets even more dramatic, my friend. Because Makai Lemon is not competing in a weak wide receiver class. Not even close. The consensus WR1 in this draft is Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. 6'2", technically elite route runner, national champion, projected to go somewhere in the top 10 picks. Right behind him is Jordyn Tyson, the most athletically gifted of the group, though he carries some injury concerns. And sitting at number 3 on most big boards, you guessed it, Makai Lemon. 3 first-round prospects that analysts like Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks rank among the 10 best players available in this entire draft class. And Lemon is one of them. Let that sink in for a second. A guy the media has in the top 10 of the whole draft, capable of going toe-to-toe with the best receiver in the class, could end up falling 13 spots just because of how he acted in a few meeting rooms at the combine. That is brutal. Is it fair? Maybe not. But this is the NFL, where talent alone has never been enough. And if it's true that top 15 caliber teams have already crossed Lemon off their lists, the Eagles, sitting at 23, would essentially be receiving a gift wrapped in controversy. Now picture the scenario Reuters is laying out. If A.J. Brown gets traded, and with a dead cap hit of $43 million before June 1st dropping all the way down to $16 million after that date, the smart money says any deal gets done in the second half of the year. The Eagles are going to need a wide receiver capable of stepping up and taking on real responsibility. Devonta Smith is a confirmed piece of this offense, locked in through 2028. But the depth at the receiver position is going to need serious reinforcement. Lemon as a slot receiver? That's a perfect fit in the Eagles' system. But as Reuters pointed out, he isn't limited to that role. When Smith works inside, Lemon can line up outside without missing a beat. That gives the offensive coordinator enormous flexibility to create coverage conflicts. And with Jalen Hurts running the offense, a smart, fast, sure-handed receiver like Lemon could fit into this scheme like a surgical instrument. The inevitable question is, would the Eagles actually spend the 23rd pick on a wide receiver? Historically, Howie Roseman doesn't shy away from moves that look bold or counterintuitive. A.J. Brown himself arrived in Philadelphia via trade on draft night, in exchange for the 18th pick in 2022, if you remember. Roseman understands value, and if he sees Lemon as a top 15 talent sitting there at 23, he may very well pull that trigger. Sure, the character concerns are the elephant in the room. Teams take players off their boards for these reasons all the time. But it's worth noting, the issues that surfaced at the combine were about attitude and conduct in interviews, not legal trouble, not substance violations. That's not the same category as the serious off-field situations that have derailed careers before they ever got started, but it can't be ignored either. Howie Roseman, who has one of the sharpest evaluators' minds in the league, is going to have to reach his own conclusions about what he saw and heard from Makai Lemon during those days in Indianapolis. If Lemon goes dark, disappears from the public radar, and shows up on April 23rd just to hear his name called, there's still a very real chance he hears it in the first round, with the Eagles or without them. The talent is simply too real to ignore. So what do you think, my friend? Should the Eagles take the swing on Makai Lemon at pick 23, betting that the combine behavior was an isolated mistake and not a pattern? Or should Howie Roseman play it safe and go with a lower risk profile? Drop it in the comments below. And if this is the kind of Eagles draft analysis you live for, you already know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single update.